Do you feel awkward about promoting yourself and pitching yourself in your workplace? Maybe you think it sounds arrogant, but actually, being able to market and pitch yourself is so important for your career progression and making sure you get promotions and making sure you work on projects that you want to work on. Now, if you think it sounds arrogant, you've got to remember that all the people making those decisions about, the senior managers, your boss, your line manager, they are so busy with their own world, with their own work, with their own issues, with their own problems. They're not thinking about you and what you can do and the experience you have. So you need to be able to articulate that and communicate that on a regular basis so you're top of their mind. Now, how do you do that tactfully? Well, one of the best strategies to use is by using examples of experience that you have. So let me give you a scenario. So if we're in a meeting and you get asked, what are your recommendations for this project? You can say something like, well, my recommendations are X, Y, and Z because it reminds me a lot of a project I worked on last year for energy client X. I was actually responsible for the whole strategy and overseeing that project. So I was very close to the difference that the deliverables made. And actually what we did was we took a client that started out doing an annual review report and we leveraged that content so that we used it at the London Stock Exchange, an event at the London Stock Exchange. We did an event in Singapore. We took the content and published it across social media platforms and created digital and video content that they then sent to their different stakeholders. And actually what we saw was the difference in mixing that media up was 255% impact on their client base, an increase of 255% impact on their customer base. And actually this client we're talking about is very similar, and I think we can use that same model so that we can show them and demonstrate them and give them that similar increase in value. Now, what I've done there is I've made my recommendations, but I've used an example of a previous project I worked on with a previous client, and I've been very specific about the value that the project got in the end and what I was responsible for. And I've dropped in names like the London Stock Exchange and doing events in Singapore, all to build my credibility. So when you're giving your opinion, your views, your recommendations, by using examples of your previous experience that you've thought about before and using specific information means that you build your credibility, people will take notice, and when they have new work and new projects and new positions, they're thinking, maybe we're going to get Laura to come and do a similar thing on this project. So it's a really good way of building your credibility, your authority, and getting recognition for your efforts in the business and being front of mind on your senior manager's brains. And that is really important to promote yourself and market yourself in your company. And if you need any help in doing this, then set up a consultation with us at www.youandlaura.com, and I look forward to seeing you there.